Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Strategy Guide, where we show you how to get strategic victories and tactical victories in your favorite video games. Welcome back everyone to the next level in the UEF campaign for Supreme Commander 2 Strategy Guide. And today we will be defending a city against our former brothers and sisters of the UEF. If you don't know what happened, you can check the last video, which I did on the campaign, the last mission. I actually did a full strategy guide on skirmish mode in between the two. I think it was because there's 6 missions in the campaign, and I think I'll stop when I'm halfway through the campaign, take a little bit of break from that, do a skirmish, then go back to it. I think it works well, but Titans of Industry.
Encrypted connection established.
Oh, we are not defending a city, but we are making a stand.
Good to hear from you, man. Let's not get all weepy. I'm here to help. I'm holed up in some derelict comm center.
Okay, so pretty much what happened was
when Rogers took over.
Colonel Rogers is the commander of everything on this planet of UEF forces, and we were attacked by a Cyberman. We took out that threat, or slowed it down to a crawl. Then what happened was that he was ordered to attack his
and in position to intercept.
Illuminate forces at the city, which haven't done anything. They just peacefully protest and whatnot. Of course, this is just a colony here, and apparently your wife and kid are Illuminate and were there, and apparently they were killed or something, so...
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Or something like that, or was ordered to attack that place, and now we have to,
He's trying to take control of
do a battle here, then probably defend the city. I'm not sure what quite
I'm heading down there.
can do that. Okay, so, pretty much this is the battle. Now, in this case, you'll get fat boys, but they don't necessarily use up a lot of masses. They auto-produce, even if you don't tell it to, because you don't have control of this factory. It's one of these things.
Has 3 production platforms, each with an
What you're going to do is, for this strategy guide, you will need to play a bit conservatively, as you will need to conserve your units and attack when you can outnumber and overpower. Not so much outnumber, but more or less overpower at the point of attack. You don't need to outnumber in terms of numbers unless it's the same units.
Coleman's got one of the
I mean, if they have one fat boy, of course you're going to need more units to overpower it. Maybe a bunch of gunships or something along those lines. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our air units. We're going to have them set up right here in the middle. That way they can quickly rush to this side or this side in case we get rushed. Now, of course, I need my 2 engineers, and what we're going to do is we are actually going to set up ground turrets. Probably going to set up 2 on each side. So I'm going to have...
That Neanderthal Rogers failed to sever our encrypted connection, so I
is going to go there.
New advanced technologies.
Now I'm going to need more research, but what I need is more
A
units.
strong coalition of allies is better for business.
And
That's a wonderful.
okay, so I'm going to summon more engineers, structures,
Options are available.
reduce costs, reduce costs, okay. So you want to get, the first thing you want to do is go for structures, reduce the costs of building them, all structures. That's the #1 thing you want to do. And then, once that's done, you want to get as many turrets up and online once you reduce the cost of all these structures. Now, I probably want maybe 2 or 3 turrets, ground turrets or heavy point defenses here. Heavy point AAs will be placed scattered about the base as they can just easily fly over. These are actual solid objects on the ground, which can be an actual physical barrier for certain land units. As for the air units, they can just fly over, so you need to not just put your air forces along this side, but some over here in case they fly past it and out of its range as well. this thing will just constantly pump out units, and we can't actually control it and tell it what to build or what to make. So that will have to be all done on its own. A good thing to do is, away from your main base area, put non-essential combat things such as research stations. In hard fighting hard AIs on skirmish mode, as you saw if you watched that strategy guide, I ended up with about 12 research stations. I could put more because I have 250 as the unit limit here, but I don't think I'm gonna need to make use of that. Now, one thing to note is that a very good structure to have is radar installation. For a lot of these missions, you start out with them, so that's kind of good. So now what I'm gonna do is repeat build, have this one make fighters. I'm gonna have this one repeat build, but I'm gonna have this one make bombers. Then I'm gonna try and go for a lot of stuff in regards to structures. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is get my Air Force, and I'm going to attack this.
Commander under attack.
Move your units into position on the platform at Bravo. Clear the area of all enemies, and I'll start the activation.
Okay, so as you saw, I already lost a unit, so I need a land factory. We are going to use heavy air, use a heavy amount of use of air units, but I'm also going to have a few ground units, but not a whole lot. Okay, so I'm going to increase our research production. Now, I definitely want to get mass income. Now, you don't have mass converter like I did in skirmish mode because we haven't gotten to unlock that yet. This is like before we get our maximum upgrades or maximum potential that these forces could have, which is what skirmish mode is. It's like you have all the technologies unlocked. You just have to research them, kind of deal. Okay. Now what I want from this is another engineer, but I'm also gonna want it to make a bunch of these as well, so that way it can protect itself. We're going to have to heavily rely on getting mass, or heavily rely on our mass extractors for most of our resources.
Charlie, you got any good news? How about the experimental factory at your base is online? It's
sweet.
Search and destroy all the way to Coleman's base.
Okay, it's odd. Okay, Fat Boys here are automatically programmed to search and destroy directly to their base. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. You don't actually have control of them. They just move on a set AI path. It's 100% controlled AI, including the production of them. Okay, so we got a mass extractor. No, we got more mass. Okay, so what I want to do now is I actually want to get a whole lot more items. Okay, what do I need though? I'm definitely low on mass, as you guys can tell, and this is going to be one of the harder missions to pull off. And until I can get that, which I need to reboot the defenses on one of my flanks here.
You sure it's on our side? Trust me.
I don't quite need one just yet.
Get control of that factory before it's too late. I'm on it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell this one.
Consider research that improves the effectiveness of your air units.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, but I don't want this unit quite yet. It's okay to, reclaim, like, 1 or 2 Fat Boys in the beginning, just to get what you need. That's what I do. It usually works out well. Also like to take the time to note that this is a strategy that works for this mission. I'm not saying it's the best. Each strategy has their own strengths and weaknesses. There are many others that could work.
Another fat boy at you. You need to take control of that factory now.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to take it on very quickly. And note, one thing I do note is that I don't really care for how much, what kind of score I get at the end, because they do grade you and give you a score and whatnot. I don't really care for it, because for the time portion, because I'm going to go for the objectives, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it right and taking the time that is needed for it. So what I'm going to do now is hopefully wait to get one of these. The only thing I'm lacking is energy this time, not anything else.
A second fat boy has been deployed.
Which is all the more reason.
One of your fat boys has been destroyed.
I reclaimed it. Like, could you not, though? I did it for a reason. Okay, I definitely want to get shields next. That way we can protect our thing. Now, another thing you want to know is that for this mission, the one thing I haven't even bothered to deal with is naval, because there's no water here. So we won't have a navy. If you are Illuminate, technically you would have a navy, as all of your land vehicles can go on water. That's like sort of like its own unique feature.
Where that came from.
Okay.
Is that all you got?
Luke, we've had our issues in the past, but Rogers has overstepped his authority.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Not question orders.
I guess I missed that day at school.
Okay. They attack something here, which means that it's not going to be far off for something else to come here. So I need to reset up more heavy point defenses here. Now the thing about shield generators, and what I was learning when I was experimenting with these, and how the best way to defend your AA towers or line right here is just have the shields farthest extension be right in front of the turret line. The reason for this is that if you are within the area of the shield, it won't be protected by it, because you're inside the thing that is protecting it. So if I go to structures here, by this, it's actually more beneficial if I put the turret or the shield back here and not directly near it. Now, of course, that side's being directly attacked by a fat boy, so I need to go here and destroy it. My air units would be so kind as to take less time responding. That would be nice. Yeah, so can we. We will build as many as we have to and step over as many structures of yours as needed to get a victory. Okay. This one is good, but if I had it a little bit farther back, that would be great, but I don't know the exact distance that this thing expands to. Okay. So, I'm gonna set up one here. Hopefully that shield will last. Now I gotta go over here, defend this while it sets up its own stuff. Now, on the subject of this, I cannot actually control these guys, so I'm just gonna move my ACU out of the way and set up as many of these as needed of the AA defenses. You really need to hunker down until you can get everything. All your research, everything, like in line with each other. It will take a while, but the preparation phase and how you do it is probably one of the most important things. Because when you overpower or outnumber at the point of attack, it ain't gonna matter if they have 5 AA guns. You have 60 bombers going into an area, and it's gonna wipe out whatever it can. The whole objective here is to play War of Attrition, But always when you're doing war of attrition, at the point at which you're attacking, is going to be outnumbering at the point of attack. It's really one of the best strategies that you have to do if you're cornered into, you're backed into a corner like this. It's not the best situation to be in, but the main idea of being a tactician is to do something along those lines, is being able to make light of a bad situation and turn it into your favor. Sort of like an artist, if they mess up something on a canvas, or they put down a piece of paint, they should change out the colors of their paints and try and make something beautiful of the mistake they made. And that's what I'm doing here.
Well, that explains the foot in your mouth.
Oh! Someone called the fire department because he just got burned.
Fat boys are weak, like you.
Oh, really? That's coming from a fat boy who can't even handle the force of my Air Force. So look who's talking, huh? You're gonna get nuked. Actually, no, JK, we don't have nukes yet. Yeah, those turrets may have lived if I had a shield. I want 4 on each side, so I'm at least defended to a decent extent. Now here, this build was paused, and I'm guessing this build was not, though. Now, another thing to note is that I should probably have some AA back here in case the enemy units fly back here. If land units get back here, it's probably because my base has been overrun, and that is a bad situation to be in. Okay. So, along these lines, the main thing you're going to want to do is increase your structure training. They can output more, if your turrets can output more damage and withstand more damage, then you are good and solid to go. Now, you don't need to have a 10 energy generators, but I'm probably going to put down 5 or 6, and then probably put down 5 or 6 more research stations if I need to. Because I'm mainly going to use Air Force, and my Air Force is probably going to do most of the fighting, so my ground units are probably going to support it, such as my Fat Boys, and some of my other units that I will have to make as well. But for now, I can take this massive force that I have here and push forward. I actually got one of their Fat Boys on the run for a second. So what I'm going to do now is move this into position. Eventually, it's going to break through the shield like it did there. And it's going to start destroying these. So I probably would need at least 2 energy shields before my thing has enough time to respond. Although they didn't fully die. So I'm not too sure at the moment. Another thing, though, is that I definitely need to have some AA near these ground turrets, because you can't really do much to defend against AA other than the turrets themselves. Shields don't really do anything, because you see this bubble that the shield makes? If you're inside the bubble, it won't protect it. It protects against attacks outside the bubble. But enemy vehicles can drive through it. So, it's sort of like a good thing and a bad thing. If you know how to use the shields, you can definitely make that a good thing and use it to your advantage. Now, you can also have engineers reclaim the rubble, if you wanted, of all of your units. Of, like, all your destroyed Fat Boys. and whatnot if you needed to. Okay, so now this thing starts to take lots of damage. This is what I'm getting at. Fat boys do a lot of damage, but they can't really do much when they're being outnumbered by a lot of air units. The whole point of this is to be able to protect and out your units and still be able to outnumber where it matters most, where the combat's going on. I have a nuke defense silo. Are we expecting to get nuked? Because we don't have nukes ourselves. Okay. So, we don't have a whole lot of mass because I've constantly had these two factories on repeat builds. Somehow that fat boy can get through there. I do not know how it can. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do now is have this target that. And I think I'm going to have to end this part of the strategy guide here. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, leaving any comments, questions, or feedback for me in the comment section down below would be highly appreciated. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.